A blessed morning to everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We are here to present to you our research proposal entitled Teenage Pregnancy During COVID-19 Pandemic, the Impact of Lockdown in Dinalupihan, Bataan. This presentation is structured as follows. Start off by the introduction. To lessen the spread of COVID-19, lockdown has been announced on a global scale. According to Hyder et al. 2020, lockdown is a set of mandatory enforced measures that everyone in the population must adhere to in order to stop the spread of COVID-19. This became a government-mandated measures which also includes the closing of schools and universities. It is a cause for concern that schools have been closed for months that led to years, which has contributed to the rise in the number of teenage pregnancy in the Philippines. Getting pregnant between ages 13 and 19 is considered a teenage pregnancy, and that's according to United Nations Children's Funds 2020. According to Yirmiya et al. 2021, although pregnancy is already challenging in a pandemic-free environment with high levels of anxiety and worry in some circumstances, according to Kinzer et al., or added by Kinzer et al., pregnant women's mental health is now crucial for their own well-being as well as the well-being of their unborn child and their family. Let's proceed now to the significance of the study. The following patrons that may benefit from this research are teenagers, students, parents, researchers, and future researchers.
Theoretical framework is the paradigm of study which consists of three frames or phases: input, process, and output. It represents the conceptual framework of the research. It is where the researchers will use as a checkpoint to build the foundation for their research. It mainly focuses on the subject about young mothers and other affected participants regarding teenage pregnancy during COVID-19.
One of the most pressing issues plaguing today's Filipino youth is early pregnancy. According to Rivas 2021, studies showed that teenagers who become pregnant are frequently motivated by their economic situation and lack of education. It results in a vicious cycle of poverty and economic inequality because of their reduced lifetime earning potential and poorer educational attainment. Early childbearing have been linked to health problems and economic instability. According to Agdepa et al. 2022, adolescent mothers represent a uniquely vulnerable group in any infectious disease outbreak. The rates of teen pregnancy in a given country are indicative of its cultural, social, and economic status. The continuous growth of these cases only shows that it needs to be addressed and in action.
As we all know, teenage pregnancy is indeed a concern worldwide. According to a study done in 2020 by Chicago, Ghana recorded more teenage pregnancies between March and May of that year during COVID-19, with 51 women pregnant as opposed to 6 cases in 2018. Additionally, he noted that a rise in teenage pregnancies was active throughout the period of COVID-19's global spread. Furthermore, in 2018, projects concluded that adolescent pregnancy is a serious social problem. It was evident that this issue has made these women to unfortunately drop out of their school, causing them to have a lack of skills and inability to find opportunities to get a decent jobs that would support them and their children.
Problem statement is one of the main topics of the research, and it helps the researchers stay inside the scope during the time of their study. This study seeks or aims to answer the following questions. Number 1. What are the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age, gender, and status? Number 2. Is there a statistically significant difference in teenage pregnancy before and during the pandemic in regards to educational status and rate of teenage pregnancy? Number 3. What are the stereotypes and perceptions of the respondents concerning early childbearing, contraceptions, abortions, and family planning? And lastly, number 4. How these young mothers cope during the times of pandemic in terms of financial, emotional, social, and physical.
In research design, the researchers will use qualitative research, specifically descriptive research design. As semi-structured questions will be given to those teenage girls who got pregnant. Using this type of interview, the researchers will benefit to collect an open-ended and to prospect the experiences and feelings of the participants. This will assist the researchers in understanding and analyzing teenagers' information on the pregnancy during the pandemic. Research local. The study will be conducted in Dinalupihan in the province of Bataan. The respondents may be interviewed by face-to-face interaction, through online video call, or by answering provided questionnaires.
Population and sampling. Population refers to the whole set of individuals who share the characteristics of interest to the researcher. The sampling method that the researchers use specifically is purposive sampling. This sampling method would help the researchers because it refers to a non-probability sample based on the population that the researchers have chosen. In research ethics, the researchers considered several ethical considerations while conducting the survey, specifically to verbal communication. The researchers firstly considered the approach to take the participants is via consent that indicates if they would want to participate in the researcher's study. This includes the confidentiality of the respondents, identity and data that is gathered through interviews, photos, audio recordings, and other materials.
Research instrument. So the researchers decided to have an interview to the young mothers of Dinalupihan, Bataan. because verbal response can help the researchers to comprehend and evaluate the response from the participants. Also, according to the University of Columbia, interview is one of the most frequent research tools in obtaining a knowledge on a subject. Now, let's proceed to the data collection. In able to collect the data, the researchers will request to the Health Center of Dinalupian, Bataan to obtain the records of pregnancy during year 2020 to 2022, as well as in a municipal social welfare development for the information regarding adolescent pregnancy that have occurred within the municipality. The respondents will be selected at random, and their response will be compiled and recorded by the researchers.
The goal of the study is for better and deeper understanding of the number and impact of COVID-19 to teenage pregnancy. Therefore, the usage of descriptive statistics will be very useful. Data analysis are the summarized collected data that involves the interpretation of data gathered to the use of analytical and logical reasoning, and it will be mainly focused on finding the mean and standard deviation of the subjects in the premises of subject's location.